a great lesson in having the right kit, being prepared last week when we did the 3 Peaks challenge. We went up Ingleborough relatively late. It gave us enough time to get round, but we got gradually slower as we were doing it, and by the time we came down off Ingleborough, still light, but the path was quite difficult to navigate. I mean, it was boggy, there was limestone. It had been raining for a good half of the day while we were doing the first half of that, and so it started getting dark. I was the only one with an actual head torch, so that was a godsend from, well, Alberto also had a head torch, but it was really not up to scratch. I think he might be able to see his own feet, but in terms of helping everyone else, it didn't really cut it. So, good lesson in time on the feet. Ended up taking 14 hours, which is a few longer than we hoped it would. But the little dog was struggling on its feet by the end, and we were going really slow. I think it was a bit longer than everyone anticipated, but I had plenty of food. Navigation got a little bit tricky as well because the paths aren't very obvious, and once it was dark, only my head torch, which is decent for navigation, plus the Garmin 935 was a godsend. I had the map and a compass had I needed it, but the Garmin 935 navigation with the route I'd meticulously planned a couple of nights before kept us bang on track. I think I wouldn't want to have to rely on the Garmin as such, because it's basically a line pointing on a map, but the accuracy of the GPS is, I think on Garmin it says that it's 3 meters around you, which isn't too bad, so it always gives you a little alert when you're going off course, and it did us pretty well. Got to a point where people started making wrong decisions because they were tired, so I had to lead the way, got everyone in a line behind me. Like I say, a real good lesson in being prepared, and I had all my gear, but we weren't maybe quite ready to do that, especially taking on the 3rd peak so late in the evening. We probably should have thought twice about that, but we managed to get down okay. Absolutely shattered at the end though, and my legs took a few days to recover at the start of this week, but it's okay now. But the lessons learned were: have the right kit, be prepared. You just got to know what you're letting yourself in for, plan how long things are going to take, make sure everyone tells you how they're feeling, make sure everyone's got the right kit, but that's on them, not you. We also had some Black Diamond poles with us, so Rebecca shared one with me, and when we got on the boggy part, she had one, I had the other, and it just helped you with the balance because it was getting slippy, it was wet. Limestone is notoriously slippy when you're trying to run or walk fast on it. So from then I bought my own poles, which came this week. Super light, but an absolute godsend, and it really helps you when you're going up the hills there, just to dig in. So it's Black Diamond distance carbon that I've got, 120 centimeters, which is the right length for my height. Your arms pretty much need to be at a right angle when you're holding them, and then you just from there if they're going to be decent for going up hills and stuff. Also, because it was raining so much, I realised that things in my bag were starting to get a bit damp, including my head torch, which does have a waterproof shell on it, but you pretty much don't want a piece of electronic equipment to be sat in a pool of water for so long. So I've got some of these bags that are waterproof. You kind of fold the tops down, lock them shut. I did have one of those in my bag on Saturday, but there were some things that weren't actually in it. I was just using it to keep my clothes dry and things like that, but this will be a good term for keeping battery pack dry, and head torch, other bits of equipment, my phone possibly, so they'll pack nicely into my ultra vest. And yeah, so just the time on the feet, the awareness of the kit, it's made me react. The next race that I'm doing, well, after the Cleveland Way Relay this weekend, in which we're doing the first leg, will be the Ambleside 55. So the cut-off time for that is 12 hours, and obviously we were walking on Saturday for a distance of 40 kilometres, got to go another 15 on top of that, but in 2 hours shorter than that. But it's taught me a fair bit about time on the feet, doing that walk, so it's probably a good way to give yourself such a good workout with regards to time on your feet without having the stress on your joints and your muscles as much as running would. But obviously with running you'd get around a lot quicker. At the start of that walk, my hamstring was a little bit tight, the one that's been plaguing me, but by the time we'd finished I think I'd actually walked my injury out, and I haven't felt it since. Not that I've done much running since, but I'm going to have a little jog today, possibly park run tomorrow, and then on Sunday we're doing leg 1 of the Cleveland Way Relay, starting at Filey at 5 AM, and we haven't got accommodation. We kind of left it too late. We've got accommodation for all other things. We're away most weekends running, but we hadn't done it for this, and because we're going to be up so early, it's almost a waste of money to do. So we were going to go to the campsite and just stick a tent up for a few hours, get up early, but there were no vacancies on the campsite, so unfortunately we're going to have to drive over probably at 2 in the morning on Sunday for a 5 AM start, which is a bit crazy, but when it comes to doing legs in a day, I'm going to be running through the night, so it's going to be no worse than that, the feeling of tiredness. So just take it as it comes. Yeah, as I say again, the big thing to take away from Saturday was be prepared, have the right kit, be in situations where you're testing yourself, stay safe.